we are off and running on the Triskele Bristlecone trip. This is going to be a good one. Yeah, perfect. A little late, but I think we called it from the beginning that I would aspire to be out by 5, but that probably meant we'd be out by 6.
That's
it's not
correct.
bad.
We were
it's
ready.
Not bad. Okay.
We were ready
okay.
for all potential opportunities.
Taft wants me to bring home a cone from a Bristlecone Pine. Awesome. And I thought that is a really astute request. That's an astute request. That's the son of a bonsai practitioner, for sure.
I met Andy at the trophy, and then we were in another show in Manchester, England. And in the evening we were sitting at the pub, and we just said that, hey, it would be so nice to make something together, just the 3 of us.
I think we named it there and then. Triskele was born, and that represents a force of 3 things from an old Celtic sort of symbol, and I think that perfectly represents Thor, Tom and myself.
We are here at the Red Barn, the last fuel stop for 74 miles. And as you can see by the sign here, you're not lost, you're Justin Bieber. Get it? You're Justin Bieber. The other side of that sign says you're one day closer to summer. Let's celebrating it.
It started in several directions as well. Maybe by me trading my pots with Mirai.
Yeah, I can't get my head around how sort of in the space of one day and essentially driving the length of Great Britain for all that period of time, going through all those different climate changes, scenery changes, different types of trees. And then obviously the crowning glory last night, going up to the top of the White Mountains to see the old bristlecones.
I understand so much more about the styling and the looks of many of Mirai's trees as well.
We managed to make it up here in the morning time to snow drifts that had closed the road to actually get to the entrance in the Patriarch Grove. But it was beautiful because it forced us to walk through the ravines and see the different wind behaviors that affected the plant and the tree forms, the age, the forest versus the isolated tree scenario. And now we're up, and I'm guessing, 11,500, maybe closing in on 11,600 feet, and really starting to see the isolated ancients on the exposed ridges. And this is, for everybody that values the imagery of Bristlecone Pine, I mean, this is really when you see the most impressive durability of a living organism in an environment accepting everything it's dealt.
And the funny thing is also you see likeness with other regions. My mountains back home, we also have our old elderly giants who's standing there in the wind, They look different, the stone look different, but it's all the same. It's the same story. You put your roots where you are, and you strive towards the light.
Being starved, we see them on the brink of death, right? But if you bring them into domestication, they push all the way back to the trunk very effortlessly.
there's so many words in the English language that you could use to describe this absolutely special place. It's, you know, these trees have been struggling for years, 6,000-year-old trees. Yeah, it's just an absolutely stunning, outstanding, beautiful place, and an absolute pleasure to be able to be brought here. Really awe-inspiring.
You know, when they decided or proposed the idea to come to Mirai, they would be seeing my interpretation of the wild environment through me, but then bringing them here to have their own direct influence and taking them back and seeing the ceramics that they made based on their interpretation of my interpretation is opening the door to an entirely new experience and experiment in bonsai ceramics of seeing how do artists influence each other, and then let's just go directly to the point of how does the environment and the landscape influence the ceramic vessel in bonsai. I don't know that that's ever been explored, and this is really special. So to have them here, for them to come all the way here, I'm flattered, honored, and you know, you got to empty the tank and give these boys an experience. And there's no other place like this on the planet Earth.
And the place itself is a sanctuary. I mean, if I were an animal, I would go up here to die, you know. This is on the top of the world.
Maybe the first thing was just to enjoy the beautiful place, but I got the idea to collect some salt and use it in our ceramics. It will become a glaze, or it helps to melt the clay, so it all together makes the glaze in the end. And that's quite an interesting idea. You know, it's an American edition of our Triskele work, and this is one thing that will make it special.
I really could not see through all of the dead bugs on my windshield.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Look at the falls. Oh my god, look at the falls. Holy cow. Yes. Yes.
You got to bring a big bag, but coming down, it'll be light. I don't know what this is going to be like, so we might all get into it and be like, well, this was biting off a lot more than we thought.
Yeah.
Walking a place, touching it, smelling it, like, it's better, right?
Yeah.
It's better than driving through it.
Absolutely. It's unbelievable. It's totally unbelievable. It's just so massive. It's a wonder of the world, I would say. Absolutely.
Go over to Yosemite, do a lot of walking, which was very taxing but very rewarding. And the team of guys that we went with they were brilliant, absolutely superb. It's changed my life, I think, on a personal level. It was very spiritual to sort of be in some of these areas that I will most probably never ever get to go again in my lifetime. So yeah, hugely inspirational, very touching, very moving, very emotional, I think. It sort of struck a chord with me personally.
And we've all kind of climbed a long ways, and it's kind of sucked. But I've always wondered what it looked like at the top of the, you know, the rim of Yosemite. So there you go.
The volume of the water. You see this, Jesus? The volume of the water and the sound when you're right here. You get around the corner and it's very quiet, you know. That's been interesting.
So happy that everybody was game. This crew is badass. That was fucking rock and roll.
I just love you all and this place. I have that impression that once you just come to this place, you can immediately feel the good spirits and the good vibes. And I'm just happy to be a little part of it from the distance, and that I could be part of it in presence here for a couple of days. And I'm just so happy for Mirai. You know, it's from one point of view, it's very important for my life as well. Ryan did a huge work, a huge influence on my life, personal or even family life. You know, it's my daily job that feeds my family, and the freedom he gave me as an artist, that's something that can bring me into tears as well. Yeah.
The crown jewel of our collection is this 40-foot wood-burning Anagama kiln. We start loading on a Saturday, and we take 3 days to load. When we're firing the kiln, we would have prepared over the previous months this 30,000-pound stack of wood. And over the 5 days of the firing, we start off with a really tiny campfire in the front. Just a single match lights the kiln. We're putting wood, like about 3 to 5 pieces of like fireplace size wood into the front of the kiln. We're doing that every like 3 to 5 minutes for 5 days and nights. All of this is in service of burning a lot of wood in the kiln, because the action of the wood burning becomes our glaze, becomes our color.
My final thought about Mirai is that it's the future, just as the name says. It's using modern ways and technologies by ancient tools and history and merging it into what bonsai is going to be in the future. I'm taking a big part of Mirai with me back home. I understand Mirai now in another way. It's a whole experience.